Welcome to Bed Crime Stories Podcast. I'm your host, T. To my bed crimers, hi, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. To anyone new here, a warm welcome. Thank you for checking out my channel. Let me just ask that after listening to or watching the video, if you find you enjoyed it or learned something, do me a favor, smash that like button and consider subscribing. Also, if you appreciate my work, please consider supporting the channel with a Patreon membership. Now, let's dig in. Escaped murderer Danelo Cavalcante now is armed with a .22 caliber rifle and he remains at large. The authorities believe Cavalcante is somewhere in North Coventry Township. Schools there are closed, but the residents have not been asked to evacuate. I actually think the police want the residents there to be added eyes and ears, keeping watch for the fugitive. Last night, Cavalcante was spotted crouching near the wood line of a road. The police were dispatched there and found footprints in the mud, matching Cavalcante's prison shoes, but he was nowhere in sight. A nearby homeowner reported that a pair of work boots were stolen off her porch. Later, Cavalcante brazenly walked into a homeowner's open garage where he grabbed the firearm. The homeowner spotted the shirtless Cavalcante and fired several shots with a pistol. However, there's no evidence that he actually hit Cavalcante. I asked somebody who knows about all this stuff, and he said that it's not that easy to strike a moving object with a pistol. There's a lot of, I think it's called blowback. So you can end up maybe hitting them in the foot when you're aiming for the chest. One of Danelo Cavalcante's former roommates told Fox 29 News that fear is permeating Chester County. The person's name is Franco Rosa, and he said, quote, "If I'm nervous, can you imagine the ex-girlfriend's sister who's taking care of the two kids? They are super scared. My cousin has kids in school in Phoenixville. They are scared too," end quote. The police are saying that Cavalcante's ex-girlfriend's sister has now been given around-the-clock security. The sister told CNN on Tuesday that she hasn't slept in many days and that when she does get a nap in, she wakes up with fright. 500 officers are now reportedly looking for this guy. The FBI, the U.S. Marshals Service, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives are among them. It's being reported that Cavalcante worked and lived on ranches his whole life. He also escaped the authorities in Brazil after he did in a man in 2017 who reportedly owed him money. Cavalcante disappeared into the Brazilian bush and managed to fly to the United States to evade capture. He used a fake identity. To me, he seems like one of those guys who could steal an airplane and successfully pilot it without having taken flying lessons. He just seems so elusive, so capable out there, like some sort of uber survivalist. I'm not trying to praise him, it's just that he's got 500 officers and canine units out searching for him 24/7. He's been spotted several times, been shot at, and still he's out there and evading them. Cavalcante's mother, Iracema, spoke to the Times newspaper from Brazil, and she bizarrely said it would be better for her son to ask God for forgiveness and die now than it would to spend a lifetime back behind bars. She said, quote, "If it's to go to a place to suffer and die in that place, it's better to die soon. You don't have to suffer so much," end quote. Interesting perspective from her. Maybe this is why her son feels justified taking other people's lives. Maybe his mom helped form his character. She's not showing much concern for the victims and their right for justice. Sounds like it's all about her son's suffering rather than him causing others to suffer, to die painful deaths, and for their families to suffer lifelong emotional trauma. Danelo's sister reportedly refused to cooperate with the police. I normally refrain from judging the families of perpetrators, but all of this spells a pattern to me. Danelo Cavalcante didn't just turn into a violent killer by coincidence. His mom says he isn't a threat to the public. She justified his 2 crimes, saying he was backed into a corner. She claims the man he shot was plotting to do him in, and that the ex-girlfriend was threatening to turn him into the authorities. Even if those things are true, that doesn't justify her son taking their lives, and it really cannot be said that he was backed into a corner and couldn't get out. By the way, the most recent description of Cavalcante is that he's now shirtless and he's wearing blue pants and carrying a rifle. Probably smells to high heaven as well. And I would bet he's also clomping around in those stolen work boots. Is it terrible for me to say that I wish people out there in Pennsylvania would stop leaving their keys in trucks, rifles loaded in open garages, and work boots on the porch? Maybe somebody should leave him a picnic basket with lunch. I'm sorry, but lock all your shit up, people. If you want to do something, stand watch with a high-powered weapon. I don't normally advocate anything like this or violence or any weapons, but this Cavalcante guy is dangerous. Grab something that you're sure will strike him. Sorry, but I'm not really sorry, because he's a threat to other human beings and he's terrorizing the residents and children of Chester County. Enough already with this dude. Please forgive me, I'm tired and I really think it's time this guy's caught. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories.